arrows waving, celebrating zero fucks. A chocolate obsession, arrival the best, and a pain in my chest when they telling me to stop. Foot heavy on the gas, the beats better blast. I annoy everybody on the neighborhood block. No, I ain't perfect.
Indie Music Live, episode 129. As always, I am JoeJoeKeys, sitting here with Mr. David. He told me not to nickname him anymore, Werba.
Thank you.
What's up, man? I see you're in the heavens as usual.
Yes. Yeah, we're working on background. We're going to do this. We've been talking about this for
We've only
months.
been talking about it for about 50 episodes.
Yeah, only 50 episodes. We're going to have a backdrop so we can have some, like, different type of backgrounds. Wayne's World style. That's what
Like,
Rob Hicks is thinking.
I mean, I think that we have probably one of the more professional shows on live streaming these days, you know, when it comes to like musicians. But as Rob likes to say, I still have my Mr. Rogers background. So, you know, with my sweatshirt hanging up.
It's real. It's raw.
So anyway, tonight it's all about the ladies. We have a couple videos that aren't ladies, but it's all about the ladies in the house. We have Sarah Maxwell hanging out with us from Sydney, Australia, as our featured artist. We're talking to her in a few minutes. Also, past featured artist Andrea Desmond is releasing a new single tonight, so she's here as our panel guest. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
Great, awesome.
Good. So you're in LA as usual, right?
Yes.
And normally it's a teaching night for you, which I can relate to because I get done with teaching and come straight over and do the show. But you happen to be off, so you can hang out with us and talk about your new tune, The Strongest, which we'll be listening to in a little bit. So what's been up with you?
Oh, I've been really busy getting ready for this release that just happened today. So
Hey, you just got signed to a new label. What? I mean,
Yeah, you were telling us about that, and then we had to shut you up. But what is that?
Actually, my really good friend started this independent label, Love Harmony Records, and I simultaneously got signed to this manager for creative music agency is what it's called. And he's managed some really awesome bands in the past. He's managed the band that goes, jump around, jump around, jump around.
That means nothing to me.
But yeah, it's a great team that we've developed, and we've just kind of been all working together on pushing this release. And so it's been a really exciting time.
Awesome. Well, good to have you here. We're going to get the show started. Shirina, is that how you say this, Dave? Dave, I would need your help with
I believe so.
important intelligence stuff.
I believe that's
Shirina,
correct.
Shirina, Shironi, Rice-A-Roni.
Shirina. Yeah, my Shirina.
Shirina, is that what we're landing on?
Yeah, Shirina.
Okay. Shirina.
My
This song,
Shirina.
Wild. Wild here on Indie Music Live, episode 129. Rob has his fingers up. I think he's going to smack me or something. So let's play it. the house tonight on Indie Music Live, episode 129. 130 is coming up. You know, I'm not sure if we're on next week. Are we on? When is 4th of July? That's on Wednesday, right? So I think we're on Tuesday next week as normal. Should be.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll let you know.
I'll be here.
Sure you will. With bells on.
Absolutely.
So I like this chick, girl, lady, person. Dave, Rite of Passage goes to Andrea, correct?
Yeah, Rite of Passage. Our new panel guest goes first.
Well, I'm glad that you showed her first because I thought that she really stood out to me. Her voice is incredible. She's got this combination of a really, really unique voice and just that kind of voice that you hear on the radio that's just so soothing and calming. She really, her vocals surprised me. I was feeling the vibe of the tune, kind of like it's acoustic and laid back, and then when her voice came in, it won me over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of a long intro. It was a full minute before any singing came in, which is
That's true. Yeah.
It's debatable whether that's the right thing to do in terms of radio play and everything.
Right.
But I would guess if they did want radio, they would abbreviate the intro to maybe like 10 seconds before the vocals. But
yeah.
It was funny, the experience. I wasn't sure. I'm just sitting there listening. I'm like, okay, I mean, where's this going to go? It's kind of like these sparse guitars, this, cubist style, reminiscent of Gautier, which won Song of the Year, like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. It was just very like minimalist guitars. It wasn't, but it kind of reminded me of that. And then boom, the vocals come in and like, just like you said, yeah, beautiful. I mean, just strong, powerful, really impressive mix, really professional engineering, production, all that stuff. And yeah, it was a very beautiful song. I enjoyed it.
So Dave, what's the next tune? I can't pronounce this
Joe.
Reichelt? What the hell is this?
Reichelt.
Right.
Yeah. It's German.
Pick normal names, people.
Reichelt.
This band's probably international as well. This is Seduced by the Light Side, Indie Music Live, episode 129. Share this video out. Let us know what you think in the comments. We're watching the comments. And if you get a message from me inviting you to the show, sorry, that's the new invite feature for friends. So, Rob, hit it. Indie Music Live, episode 129. P the Politician just walked into the room and started talking. I don't know what gives him the right to come and start talking and shit, but
yeah.
Love to be
gives him the
politician.
right?
What
gives him the right to just come in here?
Oh, he's got plenty of right. He likes the cinematography of this video. He says, what it do as normal. And some other people are watching Nadira Noorjahan, of course, Lincoln Plowman, and all of our favorites. Christina Baldwin, if you're still here, I just wanted to let you know that your review is going to be done very, very soon. And thanks for being here. I'm choking on my own phlegm. Dave, take over.
Yes. So very, very unique song right here. And I'll cut to the conclusion briefly and just say I love it. I mean, this is awesome. But this was, so again, this started, there's a few songs tonight there in this kind of like post-grunge type of sound. And it started off where it's like straight rock. You know, you got the long-haired dude playing the lead guitar. Yeah, there's going to be a rock song, like, and that's what I expected. But boom, you just hit this almost a brick wall, but it was a pleasant one because the vocals were awesome. I really love this guy's voice, you know, just this kind of like Brit rock, European type of style. And then it starts going into this reggae, like up strums, you know, that like this reggae upbeat. And then he's got the accordion going on. There's like this bohemian flavor. Yeah. And I'm trying to find a reference for that, and I couldn't. So just the whole experience was really unique, and it worked for me, man. I really love it. And Andrea really wants to say something right now.
What the hell?
Andrea.
Are you on drugs tonight?
No, man. Joe, you got to understand, I got all these band references going on. I'm trying to like, keep them all in check.
It happens more than you'd think.
Yeah.
Well, you actually took like, we're definitely on the same wavelength about that. I think that the songs tonight definitely are full of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
One way, and you kind of, for the first 5 seconds, are like, okay, this is the vibe, this is the feel, and then suddenly, oh, okay, that switched, and it's not bad at all. It's kind of interesting and intriguing and kind of keeps you on your toes. So yeah, this was definitely a fusion song. But what was awesome about the fusion was that it like sectionally changes from like kind of, oh, this time it's more ska, and then right here it maybe sounds more like the Chili Peppers, and right here his voice sounds like REM, and just it kind of like switches.
And it's a point I want to make in the Sarah Maxwell interview. Actually, we're going to get to that, and I could see her rustling in the background with her cat, petting her cat feverishly. But yeah, it's almost like this. I want there to be a word for this. It's like a non sequitur. It's like this like startling segue, but it's positive. It's a positive experience. Like it was cool.
Maybe it's just like having food with every flavor in it.
Sure.
And it's
a smorgasbord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go ahead and move on. That was some great commentary, guys. That's why we have you here. I don't know. I'm just running out of things to say in the show, honestly. So remember when I said speaking of allergies and transitioned to the guest last week? That was great.
Yes. How are you doing this week? Are you okay now?
Speaking of Australia, we were talking about Australia, right?
Yes. Always.
Okay. So we watched this lady's video a couple weeks ago. Rather than giving you time to transform things as usual. Anyway, and I don't know if this is right or if this is cool for me to say this, but of course the first thing that comes to mind, because I'm an unintelligent American, is Fergie when I listen to her music. But it's much better than that, I think. I don't know. I just love this video. I love this style of music. It's Australian hip hop. I mean, it's different, right? So Sarah Maxwell, come on in. How you doing? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm good. How you guys doing?
What time is it where you are?
12:15 lunchtime. So I should be working right now.
On June 27th, right?
Yes, June 27th.
I love Australia because it's like you're in the future. You can tell us what happened.
Well, I'm glad that I got this timing right, because the last US interview I had, I literally called a day early. And I was so ready, and I waited for an hour and a half on hold, just going, they're like, hey, mate, tomorrow, try again.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. And I want you to just do what I normally have the featured artists do. Give us your little elevator pitch of who you are and what you're doing. And then we're going to watch a snippet of the song Flawed, which we've already seen, but we're going to watch it again. So cool. Come back and get deeper with Dave. And that's what's going to happen.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan. Well, long story short, let's get to the Cliff Notes version. Started as a dancer and choreographer. Did that for 9 years, traveled around LA, London, Australia, choreographing shows. Realized I was too tall to end up as a backup dancer, so figured I should have a bit of a career change and went to film school. So studied full-time for 2 years, became a director, producer, screenwriter, editor, and now I run a production house where I do that full-time. And music is my baby that I've been waiting to find the time and money for to actually put all of my passion and interest into. And I'm finally getting to that point now. So life is good.
Very cool. Very cool. So we're going to check out Flawed. Rob, when you're ready, go ahead and hit it. Everybody let us know what you think in the comments and share this video out. We'll be right back.
Quitting smoking Monday. Go to the store. Drink a joining Monday. Here we go again. So you hit a little bump in the road, yeah, mountain, molehill, get you nowhere. Don't be so goddamn hard on yourself. Common sense is not so common. Bullshit. Keep telling myself to stop this, stop that. Yelling at myself. I lose sight, lost track. Inhaling my wealth, cause I ain't got no cash. Never got enough. So I tell myself this'll be the day. Hey, after rejoicing and far less Mayday. Under the foibles, I see my laneway. Cover the children's eyes. I'm about to make it bigger. I'm flawed and I know it. Clap for the underbelly of the one who flaunt it. Ooh, I could go and make nugget. Screw the gym, I wanna smoke a cig. Make fuck it. Get a little high, this is a little sight. No, it ain't a ride, but it's somebody wanna play. Yeah, I'm still fire, still got my head in the game. Come on and howl if you hear me. Your crutch, I think too much, don't live enough. My looks be fading, morals waving, celebrating zero fuck. A chocolate obsession, a rival, the best, and a pain in my chest when they telling me to stop. Foot heavy on the gas, the beats better blast. I annoy everybody on the neighborhood block. No, I ain't perfect, nah, but at least I learned it. We can it out here. Posted and you be right. Such a bitch. You really wanna go this way, huh? Really wanna listen to the shit they say?
Deeper with Dave. Deeper with Dave. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by
Rocking it to the max. Well,
Sorry, I love that
Sarah.
intro.
Yes. How are you tonight or today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing? What time is it there? It's late, right?
Yeah, it's about 7 p.m. here.
David's bedtime.
But yeah, we were chatting before in the green room. I was looking you up online, just trying to do a quick review of your bio. I found something that said you were born a small black child in Alabama. Is that correct?
I can't believe that's online. No, there's so many that are, honestly, the funny thing is I changed my name for music, just my surname, because I wanted to remain a little bit close to home. But I didn't want to be completely my family name and all of that sort of stuff. So I changed my surname, and ever since then I've looked back and realized that my actual name, I'm one of a kind in the world. But
Whoa.
The name I've changed it to is Maxwell, which is representative of my grandfather, who I love, and so it has a lot of meaning, but it's just a bit of a slap in the face when people look me up, it's like, which Sarah Maxwell?
Okay, well, I got to say that. So I used to live in Sydney, Australia. Took a year off in college.
Woo!
Lived in Coogee Bay, and that's where, like, the area you were originally from, which is awesome. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's beautiful there. Wow.
All right, so the point I made earlier in the show was just like this experience that I had listening to your music that I had earlier tonight with some of the other songs was, it starts off, I'm like, whoa, okay, this is cool. Like, what is this, just rap? It's like, oh, there's some hip hop flavor. Wait, there's some rap going on here. And then all these influences start like rushing in, and then you watch the video, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, what just happened? Like, there's so much going on there. So I want you to just kind of explain like your thought process in developing your sound and your production in your video, because you do that. You are the producer and the choreographer.
Yeah, it's a lot going on down here in the humble little city. In terms of the actual production, I cannot even slightly take credit for that. That was done by Astrid and Kat of Forces in Fury, and they are just two fireball ladies. They've built their own studio from scratch. They sample sounds, they do all sorts of things, and they built that entire sound from scratch while they're on holiday. So that's their version of relaxing. They came back from holiday, I heard that sound and went, that's mine. That is mine. I have to work on that. In terms of the actual video, that was just so much fun to play with, because the song is about being flawed, about being all over the place, about knowing what you're supposed to do. But of course you're not going to do it, because guess what? We're all human. And instead of being so hard on ourselves all the time, and I am the prime candidate for that, I'm bully number one if I do something wrong. So I wanted a song that relieved me a little bit when I do fall off the wagon, I have a cigarette, or if I do have too much cake one night, or whatever it is. I need that little anthem in my head going, screw the gym, I want to smoke a cig, fuck it. That makes me feel great, you know? Yeah. And I'm sure it makes other people feel good a little bit sometimes.
I was wondering if there was a purpose to the eating the chocolate cake in there. Rob, am I unmuted? Everything okay? All right, so
yes, chocolate.
I remember the point I made when we first played your song. I think it was about a month back, which is you have this just really rare, uninhibited presence that you can see in your video, right? So I often pontificate to the kind viewers of the show. I've made the point that I think that's just something you're born with. I don't think that's something that can be taught, you know, because if you're a shy person, I guess if you go to therapy for 10 years and you're like born a shy person, eventually you can come out of your shell and like just completely release all of your insecurities on stage. And I don't think it just happens overnight, but when I watch your video, I remember, I think it was Sammy from Blue Helix, right, Joe? Yeah. That was the point I made about him. Like you watch his video and he like seeks it out. He looks at that as an opportunity. It's like, man, this is my inner sanctum. This is who I am. And he just like lets everything loose. And I see that in you. So the point about it's something you're born with. Do you agree with that?
I do. I mean, initially when you said that, I was like, yeah. And then the more I think about it, I mean, and obviously I can just relate it back to myself, but I have had this extra level of, I want to perform, I want to entertain. I just have this, I want to make people smile. I want to make them laugh. I want to make them feel something. I want to raise questions that don't necessarily need to be answered, but need to be asked. And I don't think everyone's born with that. Like you said, I think if you want to come out of your shell a little bit, you can in a certain way. But all right, it's sort of the same as...
Let's do some armchair psychoanalysis here. So as a child, like age 4 to 12 or whatever, what were you like? Were you outgoing? Like, were you similar to what you see in the video? Were you just always dancing around and being fun? Or did something happen to you in high school or something?
Oh, I love this. Let's get deep.
Yeah, okay. Let's get deep.
So when I was a kid, I have videos of me doing all these silly little dances, stomping my feet, going, look at me, I want to sing, and all this sort of stuff. So I've definitely had the energy side. I also, and I feel like it's actually getting worse as I get older, which is hilarious, have some level of ADD that I don't want to diagnose. I don't want to have a technical analysis of that, but it fuels me. And it means that even with the projects that I'm doing, I need to keep them moving fast. I need to keep them fresh. I need to keep them exciting for myself, because if I'm editing them, I need to be entertained the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I mean, this is something I've talked about for like most of my life, the whole like ADD tag that people put on people. I mean, with the right team around you and with the right tools, that's a path towards what people would say. Yeah, but some people would say the final product's like, oh my God, that's brilliant. You're a genius. But yes, they also have ADD, and that's just kind of how they operate. They're always just like scattered and running around and everything. But if they can kind of control it in some small way, where they can put out a product or release a music or whatever their medium is, you see genius in that stuff, you know. So it's just a matter of like harnessing. Yeah,
that's exactly right, and that's I'm working on that. But it's so true that music, dance, any sort of creative art form for me, that is my release and my outlet. So that's the only time that I get to feel a little bit more calm than I do when I'm sort of running around daily going, okay, I've got this shoot today for work, and then I've got a shoot for myself after hours, and I've got to organize the dances and make sure that the food's there and the catering, and then all the lighting's done. Like, that's the start of it, you know what I mean? But yes, I have to also face facts that maybe this is the speed that I just run at. For a long time I've gone, I need to slow down, but every time I slow down, I quite quickly turn it around and then end up creating something I never thought I would. As soon as I say, I'll take a break from music for 2 days, I write a banger. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah.
All right, well, unfortunately, we have
talk
to move
on.
Hours. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I do want to say there's one thing. Can I just say one thing really quickly?
Yes.
So I saw that you reviewed my song a few weeks ago. It was while I was at work. It was in the middle of a shoot. It was very quick. I was like looking at bits of it. And the only thing that I heard was you saying that you actually listened to my lyrics, my friend. Thank you. There's a line in there that says, common sense is not so common, Voltaire. And that is what the entire song is based around. And you are the only one who has ever listened to it who got that. Only one. So high five, buddy. High five.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, plus chicken McFuckets. I mean, you got to throw that in there too. But
oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
All right, what's your?
I need a McNugget.
Yeah, so you don't have a website. Where can people just real quick find you on social? What's your handle?
Find me on Instagram, Sarah Louise Maxwell, one word, or on Facebook, Music by Maxwell. Anything you should be able to find. If you type in Sarah Maxwell rapper after it or Muso, it should generally come up. But I do have some stuff coming out soon. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
thanks,
the second
guys.
rite of passage is that you come back and be a panel guest just like Andrea Desmond. So we'll be in touch. All right, Rob, we're going to hit up the next tune, which is, thank you, Say It Now by South Village. Let's do this right like that. Spin it up. Say It Now by South Village. Rockin' tune right here. I really like this one, man. Brings me back to the post-grunge era, late 90s. I was thinking Toad the Wet Sprocket, Counting Crows, Gin Blossoms type of feel here. Yeah, it was just a really good mix too. I mean, it was the engineering on this was really well done, well balanced, good. All the parts were great. Vocals great, just uplifting, nice, positive type of feel. So, and it stood out. It stood out in terms of the songs that get submitted to us. It had that extra gumption or whatever you want to say for it. So, Andrea, did you get a chance to listen to this one?
I heard snippets of it.
Okay.
I mean, I got definitely that it was kind of grungy, post-grunge, and I love that sound. Like, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so
yeah,
like all of that is just so familiar to me. And yeah, it just kind of had that sense of familiarity, which is great. Like, it just brought me back, and it was so well put together. So
yeah, you remember that time where it was like, it was pre-electronic, additions to the sound, I mean, like modern rock, like today's rock, like the young bands, they have just I don't know, there's like an electronic flavor to it. Like everything's kind of, no part of it is raw. So it's rarely it is. So there's like a raw feel to this song. And
yeah,
I don't know, because that's like, I was just out of college. So I'm like young, feeling good. And I just remember all those songs around that time. So
was that like the 70s? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was like 1971. Just graduated.
So Andrea's back, and she's back just in time because we're gonna she just put out a new song today, and we're gonna listen to it and check it out. So Andrea, last time you were on the show, what was the name of your song that we were listening to?
That one was Inner Fire.
Okay, cool. Inner Fire, and then so the Inner Fire and this one is gonna be on your new EP coming out at the end of August, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So tell us just a little bit about The Strongest, and then we're going to take a listen to it, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, The Strongest, as you guys know from earlier, was just released today, and basically it's coming out with this video, music video that was just released on Vivo. And so the video was such a great experience. I'm really happy with it because I feel like it represents who I am as an artist. And the whole concept behind The Strongest was just, we were writing about what was real in the moment for me. My producer and I are co-writing together, and it got very real. And I've had some fears that hold me back in life, and just sometimes I don't even realize what they were, but I was unfortunately just having some nightmares, and I had to figure out what that was.
All right, should we go into some more psychoanalysis here? Let's dig deep into the inner.
Deeper with Dave comes out.
Round 2, deeper.
But so this song was just the moment, the healing process, and it's the idea is that it's bigger than myself. Like, I hope that people can take this song and apply it to whatever's going on in their lives, and just that we're human and we go through things. And so I hope that it can actually be inspiring and uplifting.
Sweet. So I guess you could consider this a world premiere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct? So world premiere. Andrea Desmond's new single, The Strongest, off of her new EP coming out late August. Rob, hit it.
One I
taking my sweet time, waking you up every night. I tell you my dreams and cry, and I swear I'll make it up in time. The day has come when I take back my life, life, oh, 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 oh. You said, baby, you're the strongest one I know. So now I pick up the pieces.
World premiere, The Strongest
Yeah.
by Andrea Desmond on it.
Monster Truck Rally.
29. Sorry, I practice that voice all the time. So yeah, great tune. I'm glad that you came back to hang out with us and show it off and let us have the world premiere. So Dave really likes it, I know. He
I
likes
did.
it so
Let
much.
me say a quick word. Yeah, let me say a quick word before we move on. Andrea, I mean, this is just beautiful. I got to tell you. I mean, your voice is it's always amazing in all the past songs that we've listened to, but just man, you got the right team around you here. You really do. Just like, this is the production quality, the engineering. It's on par with like movie
You're doing
scoring.
something right.
Oh,
I mean, I think movie scoring, like when I listen to the song, and I always think of this artist Plum, Plumb, the song "In My Arms." It's just this like huge production, and it spurs on emotion when you listen to it. Every time it spurs on like some emotion, and it's like, I don't know what else you can ask of a listener if you can achieve that. I've said this like only a few times, like in the life of this show.
wow.
And you've achieved that. Yeah, you really have, Andrea. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
I gotta give cred though to my producer. He's known as SR. He's amazing, and I remember talking to you last time about when we teamed up. So that means a lot. He's really it's a pleasure co-writing with him, and he really brings everything to life.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like an event to listen to this stuff. It's
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Well,
all
gotta
right.
check out the
I mean, you can tell I'm weeping right now, right? I mean, I'm in tears. No, I'm just kidding.
Dave,
All right.
get yourself together. Get yourself together.
Put together.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. That was fun and exciting.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me back.
Of course. We got one more tune, though, so you're not going anywhere yet. So that was Andrea Desmond, The Strongest. Make sure you go check it out. And we will be playing more of her tunes, I'm sure, in the future. So Mrs. Smith, All I Do Is Cry. Good
All
song
I
for
do
you
is
right
cry.
now.
Jesus.
Tell Dave does this cry.
Dave cries a lot. It's okay. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, Rob, hit it.
I used to watch you sleeping in your bed. I used to kiss you softly on the head. I used to say because every time that you ask why. Now all I do is cry. Now all I do is cry. I put you in your stroller for a walk. I'd watch you on the sidewalk with your chalk. The boogeyman under the bed I thought was just a lie. Now all I do is cry. Now all I do is cry. How was I supposed to know as I watched you turn the corner? I was about to turn from mother into mourner. I watched you walk away on the day we parted. The monster in the closet moved.
Mrs. Smith, all I do is cry. They commented in the video when we scheduled this video for Facebook, so you can go check out their comment, click on their link, and go like their page. Andrea Desmond's here with us. Sarah Maxwell was here with us. She has left the building. She had some work to do, and David is crying still. So, Mrs. Smith, all I do is cry.
Sorry.
So appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, this was cool, man. So I was feeling some influences here that most people probably wouldn't, which is Tom Petty, and it's because of the background vocals, the harmonies, the way they make that work. I mean, the Heartbreakers were like the masters of that kind of era, late 70s up until, geez, they did that for like 20 years.
Yeah.
But again, here, you know, the post-grunge influence here. So there's kind of this just like spectrum that's kind of going on here. Really dug this tune. There was something, I have this feeling so often there's like something missing here. And the conclusion I had was, I think more energy in the vocals is what I was looking for. Like it just felt like he was maybe just feeling a little down that day or something.
Yeah, this song got a little muddy for me. Overall.
It just started to get lost. When you look at the final picture of it in this genre, it's like, I wouldn't want this. If I was a producer, I wouldn't want this song to be lost in the noise of that genre. So it needs something more. And I don't think it's a big change, but that's what I'm left with. I mean, Andrea, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think, overall, the song definitely gave me that post-grunge feel. And the thing is that when the music has that kind of energy to it, it really was powerful. The idea is just having the vocals match up to that. And you're totally right, because if you think about a live performance, you'd have to be singing loud to go over the drums and to go over the instruments. That's just kind of how that style is. So
loud or unique. Like, it doesn't have to be screaming. It could just be like it might even be an effect to put on the vocals, but there's something needed here. And I'm not sure what it is, but
yeah.
Well,
could just be a little energy, maybe a little projection, but
yeah, a little more projection, maybe.
Yeah.
It might be that small, really.
Yeah.
David, I think you should figure it out and let us know next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll report back.
Yeah,
all right, so Andrea, new song, new EP soon. Where can everybody find your music and get in touch with you online?
It is available everywhere now, which is so exciting. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Vivo. Just got a new Vivo channel, so be sure to subscribe.
And there's a video, right?
Yeah, a new video
Cool.
out. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that. Just search Andrea Desmond.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much for being here. We're going to wrap the show up. David, any final words?
No final words. I'm happy to be here tonight. I feel great.
See, you got your fog
Yay.
machine out again.
Yep.
I feel great too. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys, and it was so much fun, like being a panelist today.
Well, we're definitely going to have you back. So,
yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
cool. So Robert Hicks pushing all the buttons behind the scenes here, making us all look almost as hot as Andrea. And he's Hixvideo Hixvideo online. If you need professional live stream, he's the man you want to go to. He's
The
done
best in the
literally
business.
thousands of episodes on Facebook and YouTube and all around the interwebs. So everybody, thanks for watching on the replay. Thank you very much for hanging out with us this long. And we'll see you every week coming up Tuesdays at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
We go again. So you hit a little bump in the road, yeah, mountain, molehill, get you nowhere. Don't be so goddamn hard on yourself. Common sense is not so common. Bullshit. Keep telling myself to stop this, stop that. Yelling at myself. I lose sight, lost track. In hell in my world, cause I ain't got no cash. Never got enough. So I tell myself this'll be